Greetings once again from the Fredericktown homestead, only we're not at the homestead this morning. We're over near Butler. Yeah, I was telling you about my schedule and about how it's tight. Well, today I scheduled it so I've got a noon pickup, and then I come home late tonight after taking people to a dinner, and from noon until probably 11 o'clock I'll get to bed, maybe midnight. And then I have a 3 o'clock pickup to drive to Clyde, New York. Now this is okay because I got the morning that I can sleep. But I got a request to come hunt timber in the morning, which I'm doing now. And I will get some sleep, I hope, this morning. But it'll be spotty. I'm going to try and sleep some. But this is the way my schedule works. I get a comfortable schedule figured out, and then people squeeze in the corners and squeeze out my sleep, or squeeze each other out by not coming out when they say they're going to. That's about my schedule, but that's one thing that's on my mind quite a bit today, with maybe 3 hours of sleep tonight before I drive to Clyde, New York. But be that as it may, on to the next subject, and that is visibility of slow-moving Amish buggies. We had a wreck yesterday, quite a severe one. Family going to a wedding. There was quite a procession of buggies on the main road going down through the community. We passed it yesterday morning and turned right where the accident happened, actually, turned left. And when this buggy got to the intersection where he had to turn left to go to the wedding, there was I heard more about it this morning, so I know more now than I did before. But apparently there was a vehicle behind him with his flashers on, not his turn signal, but his flashers on. And the father that was driving the buggy turned and saw the one indicator, thinking that it was a turn signal that he'd be turning towards the wedding too. It was a known driver that was behind him, and he'd turned on his flashers. And of course I don't know everything about it, but so the father attempted the left turn, and the semi that was behind the driver that was behind the buggy pulled out and tried to pass the vehicle with his flashers on, thinking it was just a slow-moving vehicle. Didn't see the buggy and collided with the buggy, and we've got one person in intensive care with critical injuries, head, spine, back, all compromised. And she's a mom of 7, so she's going to be sorely missed for as long as it takes her to recuperate, if she's able to recuperate. But, you know, I'm a driver. I'm out here all the time. I see what happens on the roads a lot, more than any Amishman does. I'm on the road all my waking hours pretty much, and they are not. And so this morning I had the deacon with me, one of the rulers of the church, the Amish church here, and I said, flashers, why didn't he have his flashers on? I passed the same point this morning. There was a young boy going to work, maybe at the sawmill. The sun was just coming up, and in our faces as drivers, and you got a buggy on the road with no flashers, and the vehicle in front of me saw that buggy almost too late, Wasn't a buggy, it was a hack. Two-wheeled vehicle, two-wheeled horse-drawn vehicle. All of our horse-drawn equipment vehicles, except for wagons, are required to have bright flashing lights in our district. That's required by the church. It's a sin to not have bright flashing lights equipped on your vehicle, on your buggy, hack, whatever, horse-drawn. You move along at less than 9 miles an hour, and you have to have these bright flashing lights installed. However, you don't have to turn them on. And nobody, almost nobody, turns them on during daytime. And that daytime happens from about an hour before sunrise to about an hour after sunset. They consider it light enough that they don't need to turn their flashers on. Pet peeve of mine, you can tell in my voice, pet peeve. You got buggies in fog, in rising sun, in setting sun, in glare on your windshield, speed limit of 50, and they're going 9 or less. They're equipped with flashers, yet they don't turn them on. Yesterday, if all of those buggies had had their flashers on, I am convinced that driver of that semi would not have attempted to pass. Subconsciously, when an automobile driver sees flashing lights, he slows down. He takes caution. Those flashing lights are orange. That means caution. And we're pretty well ingrained to know that, I mean, even the turn signals are a flashing light. That means beware, he's going to turn. If you see flashing lights, you think, slow down, be careful. Subconsciously, you might even think, this could be a cop. I better mind my P's and Q's. I better not pass this person that has their flashers on. Or I better at least look very carefully. And yesterday it was said that the driver of the buggy held his arm out. I'm sorry, that means nothing to me. That means absolutely nothing when you hold your arm out. I'm sorry, that could mean hi, it could mean I'm turning. I probably won't see it until it's too late. There's no reflective material on that arm, no illumination, no flashing, nothing. It's just an arm hanging out the side of the wagon. No, that won't work. I'm sorry. You put your arm out for a turn signal. I'm sorry, that don't count. Nope, not at all. Sorry. I won't see it. It's just not valid. And yeah, I told my customer this morning, I pointed out about a half dozen times on our way over here to the woods that I hope there's not a buggy coming because I can't see. And he says, yeah, you're right. It's pretty hard to see right now, isn't it, with the glare in the window and the sun's just coming up. He wanted me to pick him up early because he has a lot of wood to look at before I have the noon pickup for the rest of the day. So I picked him up early, and he's got a chance to see what it's like in rising sun glare. And if there's a buggy, you better hope they have a flasher on because you're not going to see them otherwise. And this has been heavy on my heart since the wreck yesterday. The wreck the day before yesterday wouldn't have been prevented by flashing lights. Her pony bolted and her equipment didn't withstand the bolt. And she's a hurting puppy. If you haven't heard about that wreck, go back and look at some of my other videos recently. We had a wife of 6 get yanked off of her pony cart when the tug straps let go of the whiffletree, and she yanked on the reins and flew through the air and landed on her chin, her palms, and her elbows and her knees, and has a concussion, can't stop vomiting. But that one wouldn't have been helped by flashing lights. That was equipment and pony. But this bigger one yesterday that involved a whole family and a semi. Yeah, the semi driver obviously was at fault. He never should have been passing there. Not ever. He should be cited for reckless driving, whatever. Very bad. But on the other hand, he might not have done that if there'd been warning lights, flashing lights. If there'd been bright warning orange lights flashing, he might not have attempted to pass there. It's worth a shot. I mean, let's all turn on our blinking lights all day long, 7 days a week, 24 hours a day, no matter what the light situation. Turn on your lights. I mean, a garbage truck has their blinking lights on. A train that runs on a train track and you know where they're going to be has a light on the front. Come on now, people. Turn on your warning lights. You're going 9 miles an hour in a 50. You got to have warning lights. I'm sorry. That's just my 2 cents on the matter. That's all I have to say about that. All right. I'm going to go try and get a nap. You can tell I'm kind of wound up. Isn't this a beautiful place? No service here, so you won't see this until later in the day when I get out of this valley, but it sure is pretty. All right, God bless.